Welcome back, guys, and today we are back in SnowRunner taking a look at a brand new truck called the GWC 1980 G150. Now, this is obviously based on a 1980 F150, but there's a lot more that you could do with it than meets the eye. Now, you can drive it around in this fairly standard form. It's got, you know, a mild lift kit on it. It's got some smaller, like BFG KO2 style all-terrain tires, but when you get it into the garage, you'll see that not only can you turn it into a really capable work truck, but you can also turn it into a, let's say, a console-friendly version of Bigfoot, the monster truck. So let's go ahead and fire it up, get it into the garage, and see what this thing is all about. It's got a really nice, like, almost, it's like very period correct, like, truck V8 sound. I really like the soundtrack to this truck. So let's back up real quick, we'll get it turned around, and let's go on to the interior view. And as you can see, as a Glitchworks staple at this point, you got your working gauges right there. If you put it in neutral, you can rev the crap out of it and actually see the tack moving. The speedometer also works, and you have a fully modeled bench seat as well as a shifter. Now, let's go ahead and, like I said before, drive it on into the garage. And customization-wise, we're going to begin with the 351 small block producing 300 horsepower. Then you can go up to a 400 big block, which is 450 horsepower, and then a 460 big block, which has been modified all the way up to 550 horsepower. We're going to go with that one. Now, if you want a more middle-of-the-road experience, the 400 is definitely going to be the way to go, but I would recommend the 460 just for the sheer fun factor of it. Now, gearboxes wise, you got the 5-speed default, 6-speed highway, and 4-speed off-road. As we normally do in these tests on the proving grounds, we're going to go with the 4-speed first, and then over to the 6-speed a little bit later on in the test. Now, go ahead and get the 4-speed in there. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. You got normal height, lift kit, and monster truck. Now, the monster truck is basically only there for those of you that want to turn this thing into a replica, let's say, of the Bigfoot. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to run the normal lift. I'll tell you what, we'll back it off to the normal lift in a minute, and then, no, you know what, we'll go to the monster lift kit later. We'll use dev tools for that. Now, tires-wise, you begin on a 33-inch all-terrain, but you have a pretty dang big selection of tires. You've got the GWC all-terrains, the IROCs, the Gen X tires, you've got the mud terrains, you've got the Baja TAs, the Baja Claws, and then it goes up to a 36, and the list repeats. Now, you go through the list again on a 36, and then you go through the list again on a 43. Now, the 10-inch Skyjacker lift kit is intended for the 43s, but down at the bottom of this list, you'll find the mud tire selection, and then finally, you'll find the 51-inch monster tires, which can be run on the 10-inch Skyjacker lift kit, but they'll be very close to the fenders, and I personally would recommend going for the monster lift if you're going to run the monster tires. Now, if you're going to be on a snowy, icy map, you've of course got the chain tires from 33 to 43, and really also the 36 in between, depending on what you want to do. Now, for our first drive in this thing, we're going to go with something very, very suitable for this truck. We're going to go with the 43-inch swamp bogs, which are basically a bogger. Now, we're going to go with the stage 4 winch on this truck, as well as some supplies in the truck bed. Rear bumper wise, we got a heavy steel bumper going on the back, and then you can go with the fender flares if you so choose. I'm back and forth on them. I like them, but at the same time, I really like the cleaner look of no fender flares, even with the wider tires. Now, front bumper wise, I like all of them. I like this winch bumper with the brush guard, but I also really like the heavy steel bumper, and that's the one I usually like to go for. Bed wise, you've got an old 80s style roll bar, you got a bed cover, and you've got a toolbox. I really like doing the toolbox as well as the bed supplies, but that is completely up to y'all. Steps V1 and V2. We're going to go with V1 on this one. Snorkel-wise, that's definitely going on there. And Glitchworks has been really expanding his wheel selection over the past year or so, and these have really added whole new levels of life to the customization of his trucks. Now, these are very similar to a couple of different Method Racing wheels. These are similar to, I believe, some KMCs, and then, of course, you can go through the rest of the list and pick any of these wheels that you think feel appropriate for this particular truck. Now, I am going to run with the GWC, the mode, I think. I really like the way the mode looks on this truck. Now, if you're going for a Bigfoot replica, obviously you could do the Bluefoot design with the monster tires. We'll do that a little bit later on, but for now, I'm actually going to go with a nice, I really like, well, I like the blue, but I don't want to necessarily... Oh, dude, I love... There it is, the bright blue. Let's go. Beans on the dash. Oh, man. That looks so good. It's something about older Fords in a really bright blue that just really does it for me. Absolutely. I love the way this thing looks. Now, if you want to use it around a map, you're going to have a option of a few different kind of, you know, scout trailers. The scout trailers are good, but I mean, don't expect to be doing any heavy hauling with this truck. Although, if you're going to be doing, you know, scout trailer duties, the lifted suspension, the 10-inch Skyjacker lift, is perfect for that kind of military-style trailer that comes in the vanilla game from, I believe, Phase 6 and onwards. Now, what we'll do is we'll actually load that up with cargo for a minute just to see what it's like, and then, of course, once we get to some obstacles, we'll disconnect the trailer. So let's see. Drilling spare parts, I'm good with that. Drilling spare parts isn't necessarily a super heavy cargo, but it's definitely one that's good enough to test. Now, bro, this thing just moved on out. Now, granted, I know it's not super fast because we have the 4-speed off-road box in it. We're not running the 6-speed highway, but, I mean, it's got, with this big block, it's got all the torque in the world, even with the slower transmission. So, no issues there whatsoever. So, let's go ahead and throw it in high, and I believe it is a diff-lock always-on truck. Yes, it is. So, all you gotta do is put it in high, and make sure the all-wheel drive is on, and you're ripping from there. Now, let's do, you know what? Just for the sake of testing, let's see what it does up the hill climb. With cargo, yo, come on! Bro, that was awesome! That was so sick. Oh my god! That was freaking amazing. I love this truck. I love this truck so much. Wow, that is so good. That is top tier. That is absolutely top tier. And the coolest thing about it, I think, is that because it's a Glitchworks truck, you know that it's not going to take up that much memory on consoles, you know it's going to be fun to drive, and all in all, you know it's just going to be a blast of a truck. Like, look at that! It's such a great looking rig. Such a great looking rig. Now, let's go ahead and detach the trailer and put it through a little bit of a rock crawling test. Well, let's go. Ooh, boy. Come on. Oh god. Yep, it stopped. It did that weird thing where anything that you leave in the automatic mode in this game will start to have a weird issue where it tries to shift and it doesn't know when it's gonna, you know, it doesn't know where exactly it wants to shift to, so it goes all the way back to first gear and then that's that. Come on, find some grip, bro. Easy. Man, if they had stuck with the, oh, there it is. We were a little hung up on that rock on the passenger rear corner, but we're good now. Bro, it absolutely just cruises right over those rocks. That thing did amazing. That did a seriously amazing job. Like, mad props to this thing. It's so good. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop you. I'm going to stop you right there. We're going to do a little bit of a repair touch-up. We're going to see how it does in the mud on this setup. And then after that, it's time to go to the monster setup. And we'll do a Bigfoot, a.k.a. Bluefoot for console friendliness. We'll see how that thing actually rips. All right, straight into the mud. This is in high, by the way. In high, all-wheel drive on, and of course, diff's locked because it's full-time lock. Okay, so it starts to spin when you get into the slightly deeper stuff, but, dude, I go right back into, like, first, second. I honestly, automatic mode, no issue. Not even a single one. It just digs in and grips. All right, let me put it in low, see how it does in low. It definitely doesn't lose any momentum. I actually am very happy with that. And bro, you know what? I can't stop, like, looking at this thing and taking pictures of it. It's just, I love this body style of Ford trucks, and I think that this truck right here, this, like, it's such a good representation of that classic, like, single cab look. It's that, you know, single cab long bed with a toolbox and some big tires. It's the classic recipe, but man, does it work. There's a reason why some of these classic recipes just work so well. All right, so let's go with the monster suspension now, and let's swap over to the monster tires, and then let's see. Where did he hide the, there's Bluefoot. Let's go. Yo, that's perfect. That is so freaking perfect. Okay, that's definitely, like, another amazing upgrade. I love how instead of Firestone, it's Firestorm. That's perfect. That's absolutely beautiful. Let's see how it does through the dips obstacle in monster truck trim. I always love when there's another monster truck added to the lineup of what consoles can run as well. It's such an awesome time for, like, literally, like, whether you're on PC or consoles, I still get excited about monster trucks. And you know what? I'm not gonna angle this thing at all. I'm gonna go straight through the dips because literally, who cares? You're in a monster truck. Just freaking send it. Oh. Yeah, this thing doesn't care. It touches the rear bumper a little bit, but it doesn't really worry about the front too much, and the front is just a freaking piece of steel, so I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about the front bumper at all. Now, let's go ahead and pull up right here and do one more repair, and then we'll do a little bit of an adjustment to the highway box, and now that we've refreshed everything, let's see. 6-speed? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Bridge jump time it is. Let's go. Oh, geez. Ooh, come on, avoid that. Thank you. Where are you going? I would appreciate it if you didn't go that way. Thank you. A little bit of three-wheel action right there. It was like fully twisted up. Turn, 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 turn. Holy crap. That was probably the best drift I've ever done in a monster truck, and I will stand by that. I will absolutely stand by that. All right, let's go to the interior view. Beans, you ready for this? We got to be in interior view for the first part of the bridge jump, as you guys know, of course. I think it's gonna be really good. I think it's gonna go really well. All right, flat out, let's go. There's 5th. Come on, 6th. Come on, 6th. There's 6th. Let's go! Bro, I haven't had anything stay that level on the bridge jump in a really long time. We did destroy the suspension, but we've got repair parts with us, obviously. So if you're gonna be doing bridge jumps, I would recommend keeping a few pieces of gear with you. But at the end of the day, bro, this thing is not only incredible looking and incredible to drive, but it's just so much fun. Whether or not you choose to drive it in monster truck form or standard form or even stock form, it's a blast all across the board, and Glitch did an amazing job with it. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to you all later.